Hey, this is Josh from Cattle Decapitation. You're watching CMS TV.
It is your classic metal show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. That is Ed Guy right there from the Electric Hellfire Club with Mysteria, and kicking off the show from the Dominion release, Benedictum with Bang. And Bang on the mic is my good friend and partner Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, sir? How we doing?
I would like to understand the saintly man of God reference.
I'm just saintly.
Risen from the dead, just like Jesus.
That's right.
A couple of times.
That's right. Happy Easter.
Yeah, you've got one up on Jesus. He only rose from the dead once.
Yeah, we have the same hair, so it's good.
So here we are. We're back with the show. I hope you're feeling well.
I'm as good as I'm going to get, I think. So onward we go.
Yeah. I mean, how is everything? Are you healing? Are you still in pain? Are you recovering?
I'm still in pain, and they don't have a real answer for what it is. So we keep doing tests and we'll see. But I'm just doing stuff now. I actually ventured out this week. I went out and had lunch with my brother for a few hours, because he was in town. And
how about that?
I snuck out for that. I'm sneaking out on Thursday to go drinking with John and friends at the Landau show. So yeah, I've just decided pain ain't stopping me anymore. I'm done.
Well, you use the term sneaking out as if you have to be accountable to somebody.
God.
Why, are you up to something no good?
I will be when I start drinking.
Well, I since you're going out to see your buddy Landau, I was a little disappointed that he didn't give you the exclusive.
I knew he had to do it on a big thing. I sort of had it. I didn't use it. Is what it is. But he had to do it on a national platform. I get that.
Is that guy a national platform?
Michael Malice? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He does a show from his bedroom.
Well, but he still does, 10,000 viewers at a time or whatever.
Well, what is his attraction? Because I didn't find him particularly that compelling.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan either, but he's Dave's friend, and
well, I get it, but I'm just saying that I watched, and we'll get into it, I'm sure, but I watched the interview, and I'm going, who's this guy doing his podcast from his bedroom?
No, Malice is definitely he's one of those guys. One, he's a New York guy, but he's one of those guys that's integrated into Fox and
so he's got but what is his what makes him stand out? I mean, what's his standout feature quality, or does he have a reputation from something before? I mean, what's he done? Again, I'm not.
He's kind of I don't know. He's definitely an anarchist. He says that openly.
Okay.
That he's an anarchist, but he's kind of in the same boat as like a Gavin McInnes.
Okay.
He's notorious in that light, and he lives in New York, so he gets all the New York acclaim.
Okay, fine. I don't know the guy. I watched the interview, and I just assumed, well, Dave would do this because he's probably familiar or friends with this guy or whatever.
Sure.
But I thought, well, what's this guy's claim to fame? He didn't appear to me as being anything that.
No, I look, as far as that interview goes, it drove me crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I watched it. I mean, I watched it because, I was well aware it was coming.
Sure.
And I watched it, and Malice made me crazy with all his fucking interruptions.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, okay. Whatever. I was just hoping that through your connections that maybe we could get Dave on the show.
Well, we will get Dave on the show, just not that interview. from what I understand, there's reasons for everything.
I get it. I understand. He's a signed guy now, so he's got to answer to somebody. So I understand all the politics that go that Dave can't just do what Dave wants to do now, because now he has to be accountable to an employer. And
well, and let's just say there's a reason you can't find my interview with Dave on the internet right now. The one that I did 2 months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
Has already quietly been taken down.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it when you're talking, a good contract. I'm not going to say it's sizable, but it's good. I would imagine it's good. I mean, it's not like Howard Stern money or something, or
no.
Whatever, but regardless, it's the guy's livelihood, and I get it.
Yeah, it's more than me and you were making.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's cool, and I'm glad for the guy. I mean, I don't know him personally. I mean, obviously you do, and
sure.
And I enjoy his comedy, and I enjoyed his time on Kumia, and I didn't so much watch Crowder because I'm not a big Crowder fan. I mean,
right.
I've seen Crowder stuff, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, I will get more insight probably this week, and I will definitely I'll lock him down for the show. But he as you're well aware, because I told you a few weeks ago exactly what he said was coming, came out. So
right.
So it wasn't any shock, but it just was. We'll get into it later, I'm sure. But boy, that was ugly, wasn't it? Jesus.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk in depth about it. Sure. So, well, good on him. I'm glad. I don't
know why he thought that. I've never said that. Never once.
Actually, Chris is a theologian.
Yeah, I have a degree in theology.
He's a theologian.
That's right.
If you ever read the Bible and you heard about the theologians, you could just imagine Chris standing on a granite platform up there with, pontificating along with all the other people trying to understand, why are we here?
That's right. The 11th commandment, thou shalt listen to the CMS.
All we are is dust in the wind.
That's right. That's the Kansasonian Testament, isn't it?
Right, exactly. So very good. Well, I'm glad you're feeling up to getting out of the house a little bit, and not allowing the constant pain to at least stop you, or at least at least they're giving you something to help you.
No, they're not. I'm done with the pain meds.
Oh, really? So what's the scoop now?
Well, they offered me more. I just didn't want them. It's not hurting bad enough to need them.
Well, that's my point. So are you feeling to where you're not hurting as bad?
No, not as bad. I'm not hurting as bad. No, but it's right now. I know it's there. Okay. It ain't like you with your shoulder where you just don't notice it. I mean, I definitely know it's there, but the pain meds are just making me fucking loopy.
Yeah, of course. That's usually what it does.
And I just can't be in bed any longer.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if it hurt. I'd rather hurt than lay in bed because I just can't do it anymore. I gotta be up, and I was up this week pretty much, I mean, I was, I obviously did this whole show on Saturday, which was a big step forward.
And were you on pain medication then?
Aspirins only.
Okay.
I had some, but I didn't use it. I did take some after the show.
Okay.
Because after the show, it was a run to the bed. Where's the ice pack? And let's settle some shit down. But then I did Chris Aiken Presents on Monday, and we did like 2.5 hours of that. We did actual extra time on that because we were having a great conversation with that Tony Simmerman of Knucklebones Collectibles.
Okay.
So that just went long. So we just kept on going, and I had no real problem there. And then Tuesday I did Toomey, and we did like an hour 15. I had no problem there. And then Thursday I did John's show, and I did an hour and a half or so with John talking about the Metallica record, and I had no problem there. So
sure. What is it with all these other guys? They can't find a good co-host. You have to be the co-host for everybody to make their show interesting.
I am the co-host with the most, as they say. The most shows.
See, I knew there was something special about you when I discovered you back in 1998.
See, just like when I poach all your friends, they've poached your host.
They did.
They all poached your host. Well, actually, Actually, the John show anyway was just one that they were doing, and I sort of bit my way onto by saying, "Hey, I'll come on if you want, talk about Metallica." And
right.
Little did I know John would send me a request and say, "Okay, you're in."
Right.
So, me, I like to talk.
When I discovered you back in 1998, I knew you would be a worthy co-host, and now look at you.
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm everybody's host. Look at this. Chris should have his own solo show. I do, Jason. Chris Aiken presents.
Well, it's not solo. You got Eric propping you up.
Yeah, that is true. And boy, he's a prop comedian and a half, isn't he? Jesus Christ. He likes to do those fucking staged comedic elements. That is for sure.
Sure.
He's a big fan of the what do you call that? Planned comedy or whatever.
Yeah. It's a little contrived.
Yeah, he definitely is like, okay, man. He like the one that we did this week with Scully. He like recorded the video, and then we got on early so that I could rehearse reacting to Scully, so it wouldn't sound bad.
You sound like Crowder now.
I know, it was really, I was
rehearsing before the show just so you get the correct reaction and know where to place the joke at the right time.
It was new to me. And
then you have to have the light to know when to shut up.
Yeah, I know, that was nuts, huh?
So I could be the one with the good joke.
Well, yeah, that's how it should be.
Let me be the one who shines.
We need to get a light over here so that you can tell me shut the fuck up, so that you can get your jokes in, and I can just shut up.
Yeah, because I'm so insecure about my position here on the show.
Yeah, boy, when we start talking about that, people are going to have a very different impression of Steven Crowder if they didn't already see this.
And
Jesus.
You know what? None of what he was said surprised me at all.
Oh, me either.
None
me
of it.
Either. Nope.
Not a word.
I will say, when Dave told me, I won't say exactly what Dave told me because he didn't say this in the interview, I don't think, but when he told me what he told me, his impressions of the situation and Crowder, et cetera, I was a little shocked because I thought he was pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
But then, Jesus, when you start hearing all the contract stuff and whatnot, I was like, holy fuck. You got to be kidding me on this shit.
All right. Well, we'll stop talking about it now. We're just going to piecemeal it away here, and I'm sure we have plenty to say about it.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I ventured out this week as you're aware. I was able to take in the Joe Perry Project show.
Look at you.
Which featured Gary Sharon on lead vocal.
Yeah. Now I got to ask you right from the start. When I threw you the text,
yes,
were you fucking with me?
No.
Or did you not know that it was Gary?
I honestly didn't know. I thought, man, this guy looks just like him, and I didn't realize he was playing with Joe Perry Project.
Right. I didn't know either.
And when he was singing, I thought, well, this guy. Is this Gary Sharon? I just because it wasn't announced or I didn't see anything about it. And I thought, well, maybe this guy just sort of looks like him, whatever.
Sure.
But then you hit me with that text. It says that guy looks like Gary Sharon, and I'm going, yeah, he sure does. And go, oh, it is him.
Because your text was something like, looks like him, doesn't it? And I wasn't sure if that was yes, stupid. That's who it is. Or
I honestly didn't know that myself.
Yeah, because wow.
Yeah.
So you caught a pretty. Now, did you buy these tickets or did somebody gift them?
No, I bought them.
Okay, what did they cost roughly?
$150
each.
Yes.
The total.
With each.
Wow.
It was a last minute thing, and I was just like, they're open, they're there. I'm gonna grab them.
Right.
So
now, were they seats or were you just standing and you elbowed up?
No, they were seats, but it was right up against the stage, and
that was good.
Everybody was standing anyway, and so I was just like, what the fuck? So I hit up Chip's Enuff, and I said, hey Chip, I'm gonna be at the show tomorrow. Hope to see you. Yada yada yada, and he was just like, it's gonna be a good night for rock and roll, brother.
Brother, if I see you, I'll point at you.
It's just so funny to see Chip up there singing all the songs,
Yeah, he does an okay job with it. I mean, it's not that far off from Donnie. Not really.
No, not really. You don't really know the difference at all. I mean, it's just that, Chip is now Enough's Enough.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he is Enough's Enough. So it's like Blackie is Wasp and Dave Mustaine is Megadeth and Don Dokken is Dokken.
Yeah.
It's just you are the entity.
Yep, that's it.
So,
Now what is the Chip? What does an Enough's Enough get in front of Joe Perry? Half hour?
I'm trying to think. It might have been 40 minutes.
Okay, still not bad.
But there was even an opener before then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was some weird band that wanted to. It was by some guy's name. I have no idea who he was, but he was certainly a 1970s glam rocker poser guy.
Okay.
He was wearing he was definitely wearing like a woman's glittery top, and he was wearing the eyeshadow. Yeah,
okay.
Glittery eyeshadow. He was kind of like T-Rex,
nice.
Doing that kind of thing. And all of his stage poses were very New York Dolls, Mick Jagger ripoff stuff.
Okay.
It was just, I don't know. It was just he was one of these prancers.
Okay.
He's definitely one of these guys that prance around the stage and then does all these little moves, kind of like the whole prancing Mick Jagger guy from the from the late 60s, early 70s. And it was okay. I mean, I just wasn't a fan, but whatever.
And you didn't get his name, so we could check him out, huh?
No, I couldn't tell you.
I mean, fucking guy.
I'm sure if you look at the bill for the Des Plaines Theater, you could find it.
Yeah, I'm looking, and it doesn't say his name on anything. It just says Enough's Enough.
It's let's see here. Let's see if
Joe Perry, Des Plaines Theater.
Yeah. It's by a guy's name. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, it doesn't really say. It just says Joe Perry with. Well, anyway, who cares? Some fucking guy we're never going to hear of again.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But Enough's Enough was Enough's Enough, and the Joe Perry project. Oh, Mickey James, MICKYJAM.
Oh, I've heard of that guy.
Have you?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. He and I only know it because his name is the same as this smoking hot wrestling chick.
Okay.
It's also Mickey James, but yeah, his name has come through the "Do you want to interview" pile.
Yeah. Well, that was him.
All right. So I made the right choice by not. Is that what you're saying, by not interviewing?
It just wasn't my cup of tea. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
It wasn't that he was a bad performer or anything. It was just not my cup of tea.
Right.
This wasn't my, it just seemed very contrived, posing a lot and, just prancing around. And it just, I don't know. It was almost like a parody act, almost like
right.
Trying to parody the 70s glam rock scene, trying to do that whole thing.
Right.
See if there's any video.
I'm pulling it right now.
Okay.
I'm just making sure I got the right one.
He's a dark-haired guy, kind of skinny,
Yeah, let me see here. I can't tell. Well, we're going to get this one. Whether it's him or not, this is who we're watching. I think this is it. Wait a minute.
Maybe you can put in Mickey James Des Plaines Theater or something like that.
No, I didn't. Well, let me see.
In like YouTube or something. I'm sure someone must have taken a video.
This is him. Hold on. Present. Share screen. Mickey James. This is New York Minute. It's Mickey James here on the Classic Metal Show.
All right. Yeah, that's him.
All right, here we go. Holy fucky effect.
We do our lips like Robert Smith and pass out coming back from Queens.
All right, that's all I need to see. Thanks for playing, Mickey.
See what I told you about the glittery eyeshadow and that shit.
Yeah. All right, Fruit Loop, beat it.
It just didn't do a thing for me. I was just
No.
like, all right. I'm glad this guy got 20 minutes.
Yeah, and it was the 20 minutes when you were getting drinks and
Well,
fucking
we
fighting
actually did,
chairs.
I was like a little bit of double Jack and Coke and a short glass. I was good to go.
Right. There you go. Perfect. If the Strokes were one guy.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Right. Yeah. That didn't do a thing for me, but
Right.
The Joe Perry project was real good. Gary Sharon sounded great. You know, they were a tight band, good, fast paced set, just a lot of energy. Joe Perry looked great and played well, and he he's Joe Perry.
Did I hear right that he's playing Lightning Strikes on this tour?
He played Chip Away at the Stone, and and then they did their encore.
Yeah. I read somewhere that he played Lightning Strikes, which is, for people that don't know, and when I read it, I was like, wow, that's interesting, because that's one of the Crespo Aerosmith tunes.
Right.
And I know that they've done it with Aerosmith before with Perry.
Right.
But that would be weird, I would think, for Perry to do it on Joe Perry project. But
I just think he played a few covers, not covers, tribute song, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he did a few songs like that.
A few Aerosmithers.
Yeah, a couple Aerosmith songs, and mostly Joe Perry project songs, and a good tight band. Seemed like they were really enjoying themselves. Joe actually got up on mic and chit-chatted a few times and told some stories, and just seemed like pretty cool guy.
Dude, that Gary Sharon gets some good gigs, doesn't he? Jesus.
Yes, but he's energetic, man. He is. He still runs around on the stage, jumping up on the riser. What I thought was really funny, though, is that this is a fairly new tour. I don't know shows they had prior to this one, but I'm sure it's only been like 2 or 3.
Sure.
But Gary Sharon has this thing with a mic stand. He uses like the mic stand without the base on it. So it's basically a stick.
Right, like sort of like the Testament dude does, like Chuck Billy, but
yeah. But he has mic stands strategically placed around the stage.
Okay.
And so he knows when to put down the mic stand without the bass, and knows when to pick up the one with the bass.
Right.
To do certain songs and stuff. And then it's a very choreographed thing. You could tell like this is very rehearsed. Because he knows exactly where he's got like a couple of these mic stands like placed on the left side of the stage and the right side, and he just knows where to go to get it and pick it up and switch the mic out and go to this, and then come out with just the the mic stand post. And then go back to get the one with the bass on it. It's just really funny. And then he's got a chair at the back of the amps.
Right.
And so like at a certain point, he knows to go to the back, sit in the chair for, literally 30 seconds. It's like, well, why bother? It wasn't even like a whole minute. It was just like, he'll go back there, sit in the chair, put his head in his hands like this for like 30 seconds, and then he comes back out,
pops right up going, right?
It's just funny to watch the antics.
Sure.
Because it's very rehearsed.
Well, he's always been kind of a quirky performer.
Yeah, he is.
That's always been kind of like for me, and I'm a huge Extreme fan. I loved Extreme. I loved everything they've done except the first album. First album, I was like, Kid Ego and shit like that. Was like, but I'm a big fan, especially Pornograffiti, which is just a ripping album. And but yeah, seeing him live, I've seen him a few times live, and every time I've kind of walked away from it like, he's a little too, and it's him. He's a little too goofy for me.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing when when he did the Van Halen thing.
Yeah,
because he's like crouching down behind the stage, and he's doing all kinds of weird, goofy antics and stuff, and it's just like, what is this guy doing?
Right.
As he comes off see, sometimes comes off a little fruity. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
and for the Van Halen crowd, not only was that album a disaster, and then they did the tour, and after the tour was over, that was over for him.
Mm-hmm.
But his style does not match Van Halen.
No, not
Van
always.
Halen, just a hard rock blues, working man's band, and to see Gary Cherone, running
flittering around.
Exactly. That wasn't copacetic with the fans,
I'll say this. I did see that tour. I went and saw that tour at maybe Gund, I guess. And it was pretty good. It really wasn't bad. It was a pretty strong show. And he sang the songs well. He did look a little goofy. Well, no more goofy than Clown Shoes with his fucking sword.
True. I agree with that. It's not that he's not a good performer or singer. Nobody could take that away. Yeah. It's just that sometimes his antics on stage are just a little bit too flamboyant, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not maybe. Definitely. Dude, have you heard, since we're talking about Cherone here, and we can play some of the Joe Perry stuff. I have it all ready to go. But have you heard these new Extreme songs that they've been releasing, getting ready to release the album?
Didn't we play one?
We played one and we all liked it. That song Rise.
Yeah.
They released 2 more this week.
Okay.
And they fucking rip.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's weird because, I'm not a huge Winger fan, but I thought the songs that they've released are real good.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Extreme song was real good. And, the new Metal Church, real good. New Metallica, real good. These guys are
Overkill. Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are stepping up their game, and it's good to see.
Yeah, it's about time. Jesus, we've had a lot of fucking subpar shit.
Right.
But check out this song this is the new one that they released this week called Rebel.
Okay.
This fucking song rocks. And I will say Nuno Betancourt bringing it, man. I mean, really bringing it. Check this out.
Rebel, you rage without a cause. Fools on parade, bearing no cross. Bury the truth, repeat the lie. Mob is the rule, fuel in the fire.
Now, if I stopped it right there and I didn't tell you what this was, would you ever guess this was Extreme?
No.
It just sounds like some meaty rock band.
Yeah, well, they're usually a little more funky in their in their delivery, but yeah, this is just like straight ahead rock. Yeah.
And power. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I just want to get to Nuno's guitar solo because Jesus, he's fucking bringing it.
You're talking to me as you're walking away. La, 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 la.
All right, there's the flittery Gary that we were talking
a little
about
bit.
Before.
A little bit. Funny.
It's got to be a little further up here. Where is it at here? Probably right in here, maybe somewhere. Let's see. There it is. That's fucking really ripping, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know who's a big disciple of him, right?
John Levin.
Yeah, John Levin.
Yeah. I'm a big disciple of his playing. He's a cunt, but he's I love his music, but
Sure.
he has been a dick every time I've met him.
Yeah.
So, whatever with that, but I don't have to be his friend. I just like his tunes.
Sure.
But yeah, that smokes, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, good on them for just opening it up.
Yeah. That's all. If you want to hear it, it's called Rebel. It's on YouTube, obviously. So
what's funny, and I look at obviously these bands about the best tool that they have for marketing their music, since there's really no money in marketing and like the old days,
right?
Is the fact that these bands are able to put out a music video like that, which probably only costs $1,000, $2,000 to make.
Sure.
At the most. And back in the MTV days, it used to cost like $250,000 or $500,000 to shoot a video. And now you can do it for probably less than $1,000.
Yeah, now it's an iPhone stuck in the middle of a room turning.
Exactly. You get it out there, put it out there on YouTube and Rumble and all the other outlets, and try to get your fan base to listen to at least see that you're still out there.
I will say this: there's a lot of interest in this because they've put out 3 videos. This one here they put out 3 days ago. 3 days ago, it says 509,000 plays.
Good on them. A little more
in
than
3 days but in 3 days for a 40-year-old band.
Yeah, sure.
That's crazy. And the other video I think has pretty close to 1 million plays. The Rise one, the older one.
Well, there you go.
So there's interest in extreme.
Sure.
Yeah, and I guess probably they're all, given Nuno's, involvement with Rihanna and obviously Gary's with Van Halen.
Right.
You're going to get some of that, love, but
crossover. Sure.
But, when I saw the number of plays on this shit, I was like, wow.
Yeah. Now that Gary's out there with Joe Perry, another legend. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't hurt either.
No, that doesn't hurt at all. And when I was thinking about that last night, I was like, well, that sort of makes sense. They're both from Boston. So it's that Boston thing, they probably know each other because they're from the same neighborhood.
The familial love.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but you want to watch some of the Joe Perry stuff?
Yeah, we can watch a couple of clips. I mean, if you're a locals member, you can see it over there, right?
Yeah, it's there. It's on
Even
the
if
locals.
You're not a member, can you see it?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I shot, about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes per clip just to give the kids just a little taste.
Yeah, I will say, bravo, sir. You shot like 20 some minutes of footage, which was fantastic.
Yeah, it was easy though, because I was sitting right there. I wasn't being bumped around. I wasn't having to try to go over somebody's head, to try to, get a video. And, and if I shoot a video, at least I try to do it the right way and not
swing it all over the place.
I see these videos where people are trying to shoot a video, and I swear to God, it's like, why can't you keep your camera still? It's just.
Yeah, I know it's all over the place. They definitely they have not been to the Neeley school. That's for damn sure.
Hold the camera still. Hold your phone still. And get a good footage.
Yeah. All right, here's a little bit of it. We'll play a couple clips. I'm actually going to be releasing all of it at the end of this segment, or at 10 p.m. It all goes live on all the platforms, but I gave it to the locals people early.
Cool.
So here we go. Here's Joe Perry Project from last night. Or 2 nights ago. Of course I did it up. Look at that shit.
Wow.
We gotta get a
little taste.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good footage. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah,
Looks great. Joe looks very good, healthy.
Yeah, for 72 years old, for a guy who's done his share of drugs and alcohol through his early years, he's out there still just bringing it.
And he still looks like Joe Perry.
He does. He does. Either that was Joe Perry or that was Frankie Wilsey.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, because he still looks, I mean, he doesn't really look, when you see Steven Tyler, you could definitely tell Steven Tyler's every ounce of, what is he, 103 or whatever?
I think he's like 72.
Yeah, and he's wearing every minute of it.
Right.
Now he looks like an old grandmother, so.
He looks like he does look like an old lady.
Yeah, but Joe Perry still looks Joe Perry cool, as they used to say.
Yeah, of course.
You want another clip?
Yeah, just one more.
No, we'll play one more. Here we go.
Yeah. So there's how many clips out there? 8 or 10?
Yeah, there's like 10. There's about 20 minutes.
All right. So there's a couple of Enuff's Enough, and all of it is, most of it Joe Perry project. But if they're coming to a town near you and you like that kind of stuff, I would recommend seeing the show. It was a good, fast-paced, high-energy show. These guys were good performers and did a great job, and it was a good show. I enjoyed it.
Sure. Now going into the show, like, I know for me, if I saw Joe Perry project was coming, I wouldn't even flinch at thinking about going, because I'd rather see Aerosmith, because I know Aerosmith. I don't know much. I mean, I know Let the Music Do the Talking. I've listened to those albums, but none of his solo records have ever really grabbed me.
Right.
Did you know any of his stuff, or was it just that you wanted to go? And I
just wanted to go. Taylor wanted to see a legend. I got us tickets right up front, and she's that's her happy place, if you will. So it's just
concerts or Joe Perry
concerts.
Okay.
Yeah, she just loves concerts, and it's just like, yeah, you want to go see a legend, and she goes, let's go see decrepit Joe Perry. But he was far from decrepit. He did a great job, and it was cool seeing the guy that close.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've obviously seen him with Aerosmith. I'll probably never see him without Aerosmith, but looks like it's a cool show. See, my problem is I would go and I wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, but you learn, or you just enjoy the experience.
Yeah, you just kind of sit there and groove, or stand there and groove, as the case may be.
Right, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So, So overall, I would go if you like Aerosmith, or if you're a fan of Joe Perry just as a guitarist, or you just like that blues based rock stuff.
Sure.
Gary Sharon does a really great job, and obviously seeing Joe Perry, that's the main attraction, obviously. So gotta go.
Oh, that's cool, man. Glad you got to get out there and see something and just get out there and do something. I think we're all sick of just fucking being home.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but the show was over at, I don't know, about 11:15. So by the time we got back into the city and looking for something to eat, finally there was a place that was open till 1:00 in the morning, as opposed to last week when I was in the Chicago area and everything was closed up by 8 or 9 o'clock.
Right.
But I'm sure you saw that debacle that happened while we were doing the show last Saturday.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, it was like watching that old 70s movie with what's his name? Sheen. Martin Sheen.
Oh,
Apocalypse
Now, yeah.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was a pack. Yeah, all right, I get it. But I missed it the first time. I got it the second time. Jesus Christ, dude. But you're not racist.
Is that racist?
Yes.
Just horrible, man.
Yeah.
Just horrible. So it's just like, yeah.
Well, that was weird. Like you and Taylor called me at I would say it's probably about 5:00 my time.
No,
was it a little earlier? It wasn't that much earlier.
Oh, it's Sunday. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Sunday.
Like 4:00. Yeah, 4. Yeah, well, it's 5:00 your time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5:00 my time.
5:00 your time. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys were going back. You were taking her back to Chicago,
right?
And I was like, you had sent me like the video of the zoo / Chicago going fucking bonkers overnight. And then I asked you about it. You were like, yeah, that's why we're going home at this time. Instead of fucking when it's dark.
Right.
Or when it's dark or early.
Or when it's dark.
I think I'm going to have to step away from this segment completely here.
Yep, but yeah, I got her home safe and dropped her off in front of her building, and then I got the hell out of here.
Hell yeah! Didn't even put the car in park.
Nope. I said, "Here, I'm pulling up in front of your building, so get ready to hop."
Yeah, you're like, "I'll slow down. That's as close as I'm coming to a stop. You better jump."
Right.
Hope the heels don't break, but jump.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Anyway, that was my little adventure this week. I'm glad I was able to get out and
that's cool.
You see the show, and fortunately that was out in the western suburbs away from the big bad city.
Sure.
So I didn't see any of the mayhem or the carnage. So it was a peaceful evening on a Thursday.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm going out this Thursday for Landau.
Sure.
Same thing. I'm hopeful that because they had that big Supreme Court, or what do you call it? Not Supreme Court, but that decision that went against
Jalen Walker.
I don't know who it was on. I don't pay attention to news, but on somebody that they were already talking about rioting in Akron. And I was like,
they boarded up all the stores and everything down there. I saw the footage, dude. I saw the footage where all these store owners and all these business owners downtown Akron, they had these big ass sheets of plywood, and they were boarding up all their windows and boarding up their doors. And I mean, it was just freaking ridiculous that it was the Jalen Walker thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't involve me, so I could give a shit who it was.
That fuckhead who ran from the police and started shooting at them out the window and on his car and running down Route 8 and burning through the neighborhood at 60 miles an hour at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
It's like,
but they did look. I'm not going to take any side of any criminal on this, but did I not read that they shot this guy like 170 times or some crazy fucking number?
Oh, you get 10 officers, all of them, shooting, 10 bullets apiece,
Right.
So, and then he was armed, and he did shoot at them previously.
Is he dead? I don't even know.
Oh yeah, that you don't remember this, dude?
Dude, I don't pay no attention to local news. None.
This happened what 10 months ago or so, and they were trying to make it out like he was some kind of a martyr, but basically he went and stopped for the police. He was coming back from a robbery.
Yeah.
He had a gun in the car. Are you all right over there?
It's the coffin fucking aggravates my shoulder.
So they tried to pull him over. Of course, he wouldn't pull over. So he fled the police.
Right.
He jumped on the interstate over there on Talmadge Avenue.
Right.
Burned down Route 8.
Okay.
So, then he's shooting out the window. He fired a couple shots out the window at the cops.
Yeah.
So then, of course, now it's a full-on police chase. Runs down into the Akron, down into an Akron neighborhood. It's running through the neighborhood at 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, doing 60 some miles an hour through the city streets, the neighborhood streets. He finally bails out, runs, but then he stops and turns around and starts charging at the police that are chasing him. And again, they don't know it's dark outside. They don't know what this kid's doing. And so they open fire on the fucker. And I'm glad he's dead. I'm serious. I'm tired of that shit.
Well, one less criminal, I guess. But
yeah.
No, I paid no. Dude, I swear to God, I do not watch news. I don't watch it. I don't read it on social media. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with this stupid shit. As long as I'm not in it, I don't care. Simple as that.
Right.
But is what it is.
So anyway, that's what that's all about. So, and then they rioted downtown for a couple of days and caused mayhem and destruction as normal, peacefully protesting,
Right. Peaceful protests. That's why they put up the plywood this week, isn't it? So that they would have somewhere to draw their peace signs on.
Yeah, they would draw their hearts and their all their peaceful signs down there. You need some water or something?
I started choking from drinking this shit. That's the fucking problem, is from drinking.
It went down,
iced tea.
it went down
the wrong pipe. Yeah.
It went down the wrong pipe.
Mm-hmm. Jesus, I'm dying over here. Fucking seeing stars from coughing so hard and shit.
What? Look at what Chris does to put on a show for you guys.
Just to do this fucking dumb show.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now I'm seeing stars. My arm's hurting. I'm choking. As somebody said here, I'm choking on jizz. Chris got some jizz stuck in his throat. See?
What a horrible thing to say.
All that so that you guys can get fucking 6 hours of ha-has.
Yeah. And then you make a horrible joke on top of that, indicating that Chris is consuming man gravy.
Yeah. Well, fuck you, Rock and Roll Podcast.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. What kind of person are you anyway?
Yeah. Nice compassion, dickhead.
Yeah, this guy's choking and his arm is in pain, and
that's right.
And then you make a horrible homophobic joke.
That's right.
Jeez, what kind of a person are you?
Queer basher.
Exactly. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing tonight. How you doing tonight?
Lovely. Hey, I'm sick of this shit too. I'll make it brief. You forgot one big thing that Mr. Walker did that all the race baiters are forgetting to tell. He conveniently put on a ski mask while he was driving, and when he got out of the car, he had a ski mask on.
Right.
And I have friends that are defending him and think it was excessive force. So with that, I bid you adieu.
Well, adieu to you too.
So there you are.
I don't think you're taking into consideration that it may have been cold outside.
Right. I'm sure it was.
That's probably why he put the ski mask on.
You're probably right about that.
It was chilly.
I didn't take that into consideration. I'm glad you could see all sides where I seem to be, one-dimensional here.
What month did this happen in?
I believe this was in May last.
Always cold in May.
I think it was. I can't swear to it though.
Don't we always talk about the Arctic chill in May in Akron, Ohio?
Right.
It's how it always is. I'm sure it's just cold.
Yeah. Well, you might be right.
Yeah.
I could be completely off base here.
Maybe he had a mean scar on his face. Didn't want the police to see it.
That's true too. He could have been he could have been a little vain.
There's plenty of reasons.
Yep. We just didn't stop long enough to find out what they may have been.
Mm-hmm. That's right. He might have one eye bigger than the other. Didn't want you to see it.
True.
There's all kinds of reasons to wear a ski mask when you jump out shooting at cops.
Right, exactly. And firing out the window of a moving car.
Well, yeah. That's right. Think of how cold his face got sticking his face out to shoot.
Yeah, trying to get a good aim.
That's right. Oh, it was June 27th, known for the frigidness.
Right, of course.
Late June in Ohio? My God.
I was off by a month.
That's like Alaska in January.
Sure.
Very cold at that point.
Exactly. What a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I didn't know anything about it other than they were talking about riots, and all I could think of was, this isn't going to fuck up my time out next week, is it?
No, you're going to be in Cuyahoga Falls.
Yep.
They were boarding up downtown Akron.
Right, well,
so
good.
you got about a 3-mile gap between you.
Oh, good. Well, that seems safe.
All right, let's take a break, and I'll let you recover with your stars and your
no shit.
And since you mentioned stars, I'm going to play this for you. I'm going to play some stars.
All right.
And tribute to your stars swirling about your head. All I can think of is like one of those old cartoons where somebody gets clopped on the head and those stars start swirling.
That's what it feels. It's like having a bunch of little fucking, what do you call those? Lightning bugs. Just fucking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Just from coughing here? Jesus.
Sure. Well, if you'd like to get a request in this evening, just send it over to the request email, request@theclassicmetalshow.com, request@theclassicmetalshow.com. And if I have time, I will get your request on. I try to do the best I can. I can't always get to every single one, but I do the best I can. So anyway, this is for Chris and the stars floating about his head, and it's Ronnie James Dio with Stars exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.